And I just, urban myths. There are a couple of urban myths about your role as Jesus Christ in The Passion of the Christ. One is that you were struck by lightning.
Yeah, it's not a myth, that's a fact. The last shot of the movie, I was hit.
The last shot of the movie?
5 takes, and the last take, it was the end.
I heard that the director heard the clap of lightning and then looked over and saw smoke coming out of your ears?
Yeah, he saw it. They were panning over to me, and right in here in the pan, there was a flash, and then right there, you see it.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah.
And that wasn't the only thing. You dislocated your shoulder carrying the cross?
Yeah, dislocated my shoulder. I had heart palpitations, fibrillation. I had the hypothermia and pneumonia. I was very sick. So I weighed 205. I was 170 pounds.
Wow. What did that film do to you or for you?
I think that not much has changed in 2,000 years. I think he's as controversial as he was then as he is now, or now as he was then. It's better than Shakespeare, the story where it came from. It is what our forefathers read. It's what great men have stood by, and great actors that influenced me, like Jimmy Stewart, believed in. There's an element of truth in it. It is the truth to me, but there's an element in it that I bring to my roles, that I look for what that truth is, and whether it be The Passion of the Christ, or in this one we were talking about the prisoner. What's going on in the world today? What are the consequences? And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, and I look for that.
You mentioned Jimmy Stewart, who's one of my favorites too, but you say he understood the truth. Do the folks in Hollywood understand the truth in general?
Well, I think many of them do. I also think that many of them don't want to take a side, and I wasn't raised that way. I believe that even the characters that I play, there is a black and whiteness to those characters, and that whether you decide to take the white or the black side, or decide to take the middle gray area, if you take the gray area, that is a choice. What Hollywood chooses to do is Hollywood's choice. My choice, though, is what bred me and brought me here, and my time on this earth is going to be short, and I can't answer for them. All I can do is what I have to do. And when I met with Jimmy Stewart a long time ago.
You met him?
Oh yeah, I was working as a waiter at Jerry Weintraub's house, and I was asked not to speak to any of these celebrities. I couldn't even carry champagne glasses. I had to hold my champagne tray like this. You want some champagne? And there were all these famous actors meeting the President of the United States, George Bush Sr. at the time. And here I was walking around and thinking, man, am I supposed to be in this business? Am I supposed to go to the Naval Academy? I applied 3 times and didn't get in, and it just felt like, you know, what am I doing? And I saw Jimmy Stewart, and I kept thinking, It's a Wonderful Life. This movie that is over my mantle at home. It affected me so much that one man, told by some angel that he could change the course of unlock basically the souls of many people, and that his life meant something, and the value of human life. That's what that story talked to me about. And I thought, you know, if I talk to this guy, I'm pretty much done, and I need this job, but I'll get fired for him. I walked over.
Good for you.
And I said, can I get you something? And we started going into this conversation. He was an Air Force general.
That's right.
And
a real hero.
A real hero in World War II. Many Americans don't know this. Very humble man, very strong man, but one, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, one that made a choice.
He could have sat out the war.
Sat out the war. And they kept trying to give him an office job, and he's like, no, I need to serve. I need to get up there in the sky. And he did. And that man turned to me at the end of the conversation. He says, Jim, you make good movies. And I never forgot that.
Wow. So you got your mission from Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, well, now, whether it be The Passion of the Christ, The Count of Monte Cristo, Frequency, I look at something that's going to be 50 years from now, people go, that is a great piece of work.
It's going to stand for what it does today 50 or 100 years from now. Now, The Prisoner, of course, was done before. I was a huge fan of the Patrick McGoohan version. Unbelievable show. I had to watch it 2 or 3 times to understand what was happening. Is it as obscure, the version that you're doing of it, or is it a little more clear as to what's going on? Because it was kind of a puzzle.
It's not abstract for abstract purposes. There is a great, strong linear line that goes through it. That it's kind of like you have a dream. You wake up, you understand the dream, but yet you don't. But it affected you. When the world watches the prisoner, it's like they're in this dream world, but it feels very real, and it is very real because it's an allegorical piece that is pertaining to what's going on in the world right now, just as the 1967 version pertained to back there during the Cold War.
It has clear values in terms of a state that is trying to control people's behavior and one individual who's trying to react against that control.
Right now, a lot of people are saying, hey, I'm about ready to lose my home, my house, my job. And people are saying, we had a really good thing going on here. What the hell just happened? Who came along and broke the bank and destroyed it? Then you have characters, you have a reactionary means, where characters like number 2, played by Ian McKellen, come along and say, well, in order to prevent this from happening again, we're going to live in this safe, secure environment. At the same time, he wipes out all your personal freedoms and your privacy.
So it does connect to what's going on today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Ian McKellen, of course, he was a star of Lord of the Rings. What was it like working with him?
Very fun. A brilliant actor, like Richard Harris was in the when I worked with him in Monte Cristo. Highly trained, but highly talented and very immediate. In other words, you have to be on your toes all the time with a guy like this, and there's a lot of dueling and sparring in this between him and I, and so I like the fact that I have to bring my A game and that I might get beat. It's okay. I feel like, you know, the competitive spirit, he has that, and he drives me to want to be better.
Competition brings the best out of everybody.
Absolutely.
We'll be watching, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.